Hey guys, this will be a tips and tricks video for Greece with focus on the Flatout trophy. Greece is a bumpy location with dangerous obstacles like stones and road edges that can ruin a good run. There are many mid-speed sections where you need to be careful when going fast. If you feel like you're losing control, quickly lift the throttle a little bit and correct your steering. Use weight transfer for corners. With faster corners, sometimes you don't even need to brake. Whereas with sharp corners or hairpin corners, you must brake before turning with the help of the handbrake as well. I am aware that not everyone uses the clutch. If you have it on, you can use the clutch to speed up the turbo through the hairpins for better slides and faster exits. I will show you two demonstration runs on the first two stages in the Greece 1996 scenario, and you will drive these stages several times throughout the journey. I will be playing with the DualShock 4 controller, with manual transmission, with no assists, and I will have clutch override on. So let's get into the run, shall we? So once you get started, you want to go all the way up to 4th gear, and then immediately go to 3rd gear and turn. Don't brake, just turn. It's going to be a hairpin corner, so brake a little bit, go down to 1st gear, handbrake, use a little bit of clutch kick to speed up the turbo. And then you want to go all the way up to 5th gear in this section. And then you want to clip the edge a little bit, go immediately down to 4th gear, turn, and then brake. Before you get to this corner, 1st gear, handbrake, clutch. You want to stay close to the apex when you get through these corners. So stay in 4th gear here. And in this section you want to lift. Just lift, 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 lift. And then push the power here. You want to lift so you don't lose control. Stay in 3rd gear. Lift if you lose control. That's the rule of thumb in Greece. Stay in 3rd gear. And then go up to 4th gear here. There's a little jump here. So whenever you start losing control in Greece, because it can get a bit bumpy, you just want to lift the throttle a little bit. Either a little bit, depending on how dangerous the situation is, or lift it completely if you're totally out of control. And braking doesn't help all the time. So sometimes you want to avoid braking or pushing the throttle, and just lift and then counter steer. Correct your steering until you're back at it again. We will be approaching 6 consecutive hairpins here. These are fairly challenging because they are different. Each hairpin is a bit different. But because you're going down a hill and the corners forces you to go wide, your main objective is actually to stay close to the hairpin corner as much as possible. So stay close to the apex. What I do here is I brake a little earlier and I turn a little earlier. When I'm doing the turn, I'm using the handbrake and I'm using the clutch. So you want to push the handbrake through the corner and simultaneously you want to use the clutch. If you're uncomfortable using the clutch simultaneously as well, then what you can do is don't push the clutch while you're pushing the handbrake, because it can be uncomfortable pushing both of them and you don't know when to release. What you do is push the handbrake and just tap the clutch while you're going through the corner. That can also speed up the turbo while feeling a bit more natural. At least for me, that has always been my approach when playing with the controller. Just push the handbrake and then tap the clutch. Tap, 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 tap while you're going through the hairpin. So try that out. See how I do this. Brake a little earlier. Turn a little earlier. Handbrake. Clutch, 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 clutch. You might also want to brake a little earlier here. Earlier than I do. Because I went a little too wide here. But I still got a fast exit because I tapped the clutch. And I just speeded up that turbo, getting fast out of that corner. And here you also want to brake a little bit, turn earlier, handbrake, clutch. Same principle here, brake a little earlier. Remember, get close to the apex, close to the corner. You don't want to go too wide. These hairpin corners are really fun to tackle, but it can take some time to master them. You want to turn earlier, get close to the apex, and here you just want to lift a little bit It can be a bit bumpy. Go down to third gear here and lift. You just want to lift, you start losing control. You want to counter steer. I stay a bit in fifth gear a little bit here, but I lift sometimes. And then I go down to fourth gear, so I don't lose control. And then when you get through this corner, stay in second gear through the corner. I went a little too wide, but it's still good. And stay in fourth gear, then go up to fifth gear. You want to stay in fifth gear all the time. Remember to lift if you start losing control. Don't be afraid. So that was the run for the first stage in Greece 1996. So the time we got was 2:50.777. And it's a fast time. Don't be too discouraged you can't get that time. This is just a demonstration run on how to get a fast run. Because you just want to get, if you want to be in the safe zone, your time should be anywhere from 2:55 to 2:58, maybe 59, 2:59. Let's just say 2:55 to 2:59. If you want to be comfortable. That way you can still have some leeway for the upcoming stages. But try not to get any times above 3 minutes. That's a bit slow. So get anything below 3 minutes. That would be good. So yeah, that was the first stage. Let's get on to the second stage of 1996, Greece. Alright, stage 2, Greece 1996. Let's begin. You want to go all the way to 5th gear here. You want to brake a little earlier because you're going downhill. Brake a little early and turn a little early. And then we will proceed. Gotta be careful here. You want to proceed with another hairpin corner. Brake early. Go down to first gear. Turn. Clutch. You want to exit through these corners fast. Third gear. I hit the wall a little bit, so you might want to turn a little earlier than I did. Here, just want to stay in third gear, use a little weight transfer, lift, turn. Another hairpin corner, go down to first gear. Could be executed a little faster. Remember to use handbrake and clutch. Handbrake. And a little bit of clutch kick, just to speed up the turbo. It's going to be a slight turn here, careful. Third gear. Turn. Going downhill again, turn. Stay in second gear here. Through this turn you want to use the handbrake, the upcoming turn here to the right side. You want to use the handbrake. And a little bit of clutch if you want a better slide. Go all the way to 5th gear, and then here you want to slightly brake when you're turning. So brake a bit so you can turn a little more to the right side. You want to stay on the right side of this road. So you can prepare yourself for the next turn. Go down 3rd gear, stay close to the apex. The key with all these turns, especially with the sharp turns, is stay close to the apex. Stay close to it. Here I went a little bit too much to the left side. You want to stay on the right side. Same as here. Stay on the right side, go down 3rd gear. Stay close to the apex when you turn. Use the handbrake if you want more rotation. I did. Use the handbrake here too. Stay close to the apex so you gain some time. That's how you get the fast times in Greece. You stay close to the apex when you're doing these turns. Close to the apex. And here you want to be careful you don't clip the edge on the left side. So you want to turn a bit earlier. Because the right side is like, you can easily lose time if you clip the edge. So turn a little early, better safe than sorry. There's going to be another turn here where you can easily clip the edge. I turned maybe a little too early, which is why I went a little too wide off-road. You want to stay on the road, it's all good. Here's another dangerous section here. Also here you want to stay as close to the apex as you can, to the left side. You want to stay as close to the left side as possible. Stay in first gear when you're doing this corner, okay? So it's coming now. This corner. Stay close to the apex. First gear. A lot of people lose time here, but if you can execute it like this, you can easily gain some good times throughout this whole run. There's a little bit of handbrake here. Here you want to be careful. You want to angle the car a little to the right side while you're doing these small jumps. Also the one coming after this one. Also the upcoming jump after this one. You want to tilt a little bit to the right side. So here we go. Tilt a little bit to the right side. And there's a small jump here. You also want to tilt to the right side. And that is the run. And we get a time of 3:13, 3:28. So not a bad run. So those were the stages, the first two stages in Greece 1996. I just wanted to demonstrate these two runs, just so you can get an idea of how to tackle Greece, because this will be the first challenging Greece event that you will face in the Flatout DLC. So this is a good way to practice for what's gonna come next. Afterwards, there are gonna be two other scenarios after this one. There are still two other stages in this particular scenario. I will only be showing the first two, which I just did, or else this video will just be very, very long. But this is just so you can get an idea of how Greece is. Let me show you my DS4 settings, like I always do. Okay, let's just go with the assists first. So I'm using manual sequential. I got clutch override on, so I can use the clutch through hairpins. ABS off, stability control off, traction control off. So no assists. You can have a little bit of assists if you prefer, but don't put too much. Don't put it too high up, or else it'll slow you down. So just pause if I'm going too fast. These are the DS4 settings, the input bindings. So yeah, that was the Grease tips and tricks video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it has been helpful. And I'll see you again the next time.